City and State TV. I'm Morgan Pehme here at City and State's Hub at the 2014 SOMOS Conference in beautiful San Juan. I'm joined now by Frederik Riefkohl. He is the Senior Vice President and a partner with CSA Group, which is the nation's largest Latino-owned engineering and architecture firm, started right here in Puerto Rico. Fred, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So you're here at the SOMOS conference. What are your priorities? What brought you here?
Well, I think we are, as you said, we're the largest Hispanic-owned engineering and architectural firm in the United States. We have been blessed with tremendous opportunities for growth and a lot of challenges along the way, having grown from Puerto Rico to become the largest firm in the United States. And one of the challenges that we have is, as a firm that grows beyond being a small firm, how do you then take this a sizable firm like ours and then turn it into a prime? And that's one of our biggest challenges, and one of the things that we really want to talk to advocates about is how do you go not only from starting a small business and taking it to $1 million, but what happens when you're too big to be a small firm, but you're too small to be a big firm, if you know what I mean.
Yes, and I mean, City and State is proud that we've been a leader in covering MWBEs in New York State. We've seen New York State take great strides in trying to build up MWBEs, setting a higher and higher threshold of 30% that of state contracts should go to MWBEs. From a governmental standpoint, what are the legislation? What are the regulations that you want to see passed to help companies like your own?
Well, I think that having a goal, like a 30% goal, is admirable. I think it's great. I think that it's going to create a lot of opportunities for a lot of firms, but I don't think that having a goal is enough. I think that it's not just the quantity, it's the quality. So, what I'd like to see is not just setting a 30% goal that has, it's very ambiguous when you just have a 30% goal. I'd like to be able to see some of our clients put together opportunities that say, yeah, there's going to be a 30%, but I want to know what you as a smaller firm are going to do in order to build capacity and get experience, so that then the next project you have, maybe then you can go as a prime, maybe you can be the tier one. So it's not just the number, but it's the quantity and the quality, and of course the compliance to make sure that it happens.
Now, your name is actually Frederik Maldonado, right?
Yes, it is.
And I know this is sometimes, like when we were down here interviewing the former Lieutenant Governor Kenneth McClintock, my colleague Herson Burrow was like, no, he's Puerto Rican, even though it seems like his name is McClintock. But from the Hispanic community, from the Latino community, do you see a real support for your company, that there is an appetite for Latino builders to use engineering, architecture firm like your own? Is there real camaraderie within the Latino community so that you can work together and all rise each other, bring each other up?
Well, I think there's two sides to that question. One is, I think that every time we go to a new market, as part of our strategy and our vision, to be in markets where Hispanics have a significant presence, we're invariably received with open arms. Invariably, because typically what you have with small businesses is, the small mom and pop that, maybe a bodega or something like that, or maybe a distributor. This is an engineering firm. This is a professional services firm. This is a company of, very highly educated professionals and licensed engineers. So we're seen as what could be. So we're invariably opened up or received with open arms by the public sector officials, because they see, this is what we could be. On the other side of that, from an industry point of view, we work with other minority-owned firms. We have our own mentor protege program that we've used in the past to help other minority-owned firms in teaming opportunities, so that, and by the way, we look at this on a long-term basis. We don't look at this on a project by project. We look at firms that we can team up for 5 years and look at different opportunities where we can either joint venture or prime subprime and go after work together. So I believe that both from the public sector officials as well as from peers in our industry, having a firm of capacity that can pull others along has been very helpful for us, yes.
And your company, as we said earlier, began here in Puerto Rico.
Yes.
How does the work that you do and the regulatory environment compare between the island and the mainland?
Well, there's always nuances from a state point of view, different laws and different requirements. You have to know how to build earthquake-resistant buildings in California, right?
Right.
But at the end of the day, we went to the same schools. We went to study the same books. We had the same professors. We're just as qualified to do engineering or architectural work as any other firm.
And so, when you're talking about what are the obstacles to being a prime, what do we have to do for you to be able to achieve that goal that you're saying is so central to your business?
I think it requires someone to really have the strength to be a champion and take a chance. So you need someone who's either at a executive director level or at maybe a diversity officer or even within the ranks of our clients to say, I'm going to take a chance on these. So having a champion to me is fundamental. Obviously, you need to be able to deliver. You need to be able to have the resume. But having that first opportunity, and I tell you, if we get the opportunity, we will not screw it up because we know that if we do, we won't get the next chance.
One of our focal points of our coverage at SOMOS is to make sure that it's not just about talk, but it's about action, and that it translates into substantive development, substantive changes. Has your experience here at SOMOS been that you see people understanding your issues and are willing to get behind you to give you the momentum you need to accomplish your goals?
Well, I have to be honest with you. I was a little skeptical coming, just because you got to go to these conferences. You don't know what you're going to be able to achieve, and I can tell you that I've been, it's been a home run for me in terms of meeting key people who understand, who want to listen to the issues that we have, and who are maybe seeing a paradigm that they hadn't seen before. Maybe they were excited about that 30%. They were, we won, we got 30%. Well, it's not just the 30%. It's the quantity, also the quality of what those teams are doing. So the answer is absolutely. I've connected with key individuals that immediately understood what the issues were.
Frederik Riefkohl, Senior Vice President and Partner with CSA Group. Thank you so much for joining us here at the City and State Hub at the 2014 SOMOS Conference.